This beat go hard, not gonna cap. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, hey. Okay, okay. You can't sit here and tell me that song don't go crazy. Hey, hey. Yeah. Woo! LCS, LCS.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the LCS. It is the start of week number 2. It is day number 1. And we are going to start things off nice and spicy here today. I am Captain Flowers. That is Azale. And this is C9 versus CLG.
Yeah, this
Let's
is going to be a
freaking
really fun one.
go.
Both teams coming into this undefeated. CLG, I think, surprising a lot of people last week, something that they were able to do in Summer Split last year as well.
Yes,
so
sir.
it'd be pretty huge if they could take down Cloud9, because Cloud9 has been looking really good. And Fudge in particular getting so much credit, winning Player of the Week, back-to-back Cassante games. Had
his Cassante was insane. All right, so we've got C9 versus CLG. I think this is going to be an amazing game. I'm going to turn down the casters real quick. I think this is going to be a super amazing game. CLG has been coming with the heat all last week. They are a team that just has synergy coming into this season. C9 has synergy as well, but I'm a little bit nervous for C9. I want C9 to win. I think C9 will win, but I think they're going to have to put up a really big fight going up against CLG. But we shall see. We shall see. Ash ban. Okay, we're getting the Caitlyn. I love to freaking see it. We're getting new ADCs. They're playing on 13.1B today. So they are going to be with all of the new ADC changes, the ADC buffs, the IE buff, the Navori buff, all of that. That's what they're playing with this week. They weren't playing on it with last week, but this week they finally are on that patch. You're probably not going to see a Yuumi anymore because Yuumi got gutted to the ground, so no more Zeri Yuumi. You don't have to worry about that anymore. Very excited to see what support we get paired up with this Caitlyn. Okay, so it looks like they're picking 2 supports. Maybe they've got a Karma mid or a Karma top.
They got individual nerfs on both of these 2 champions. So
dude, that right there is Contracts, and Contracts is a freaking beast on jungle. These are 2 really good junglers, so I'm excited to see how that goes. All right, so CLG has Cassante. That means that Dokla is going to be playing Cassante. I haven't seen his Cassante, so I'm not sure what that's going to look like. Okay, Fiora. Okay. Yo, they're doing Caitlyn support.
I'm expecting it to be Caitlyn support now for Sven and Kalista.
Oh my god, they're bringing over the Caitlyn support!
It's going to be really interesting to see how Sven can perform, because
oh my god!
He was an AD for almost his entire career.
Korea really has inspired the world!
Incredibly high highs as an AD. They're also going to
Korea has really inspired the world!
In pro play, but because you needed to take away Cassante from Fudge, well, he gets the counter pick it now, and he's going to bring out that Fiora that we saw Revenge.
Oh my gosh!
So we know this is a really strong matchup. We know that he can get the edge there.
Oh my freaking gosh!
And I always love to see players play both sides of a matchup, right? We got to see Fudge get MVP performances on Cassante back-to-back games in week 1. Now I'm ready to see how Fudge can deal with the champion himself. Wukong's going to be your final lock-in for the first half of the draft for CLG. So
do you think it's Kalista? It could be Kalista support. It could be Caitlyn support. Korea's played both of them in LCK. So it literally could be either one.
Despite the fact that we did see some...
No, literally, Mike. Literally. I'm so excited, guys. Oh my gosh. This is the changes. This is the different type of gameplay, type of champion select I've been waiting for.
Like, those are your 2 options.
Oh my god.
I'm expecting that they're going to want to draft some sort of engage, so banning away the Maokai just makes a lot of sense, right? It fits into that wheelhouse, gives you a little bit of front line, because Caitlyn and Kalista are not your engage. I mean, you could throw the Caitlyn in there.
Cupcakes are front line. You might throw them on the ground. Make a line.
Y'all think it's going to be Caitlyn support or Kalista support?
Maybe not a good one, but they are in there. Udyr being taken away as well. Another really strong jungler on this patch. Kassadin's still getting banned out, you know, despite some of the nerfs that have come through. Kassadin is incredibly strong, especially as a counter pick.
It's all a lie in Caitlyn mid. Whoa, that would be a plot twist for real.
Almost guaranteed.
Okay, so I tweeted out that it's hold on, my dad's calling.
Crazy. So, you know, this way we can see C9 blind and AP mid, which they need, and not necessarily get punished by that.
I mean, Kassadin is a unique champion in that if he gets a draft that doesn't feel like it just completely shuts him down.
Oh my gosh, I freaking love it.
And where's the CC? Cloud9.
All right, let's see what their CLG's bot lane is looking like. Let's see what their bot lane's looking like. Who they gonna pick for ADC?
So far for the first 3 for Cloud9, that becomes even more.
Oh my gosh, is it Seraphine ADC?
Bot lane that we saw quite a bit at the beginning of last split when Enchanters came in there. Seraphine Karma, so really powerful
wow.
Here. Melee
honestly, Seraphine ADC has a really high win rate, so I'm not surprised.
Speeding him up.
I'm not surprised. This is the champion select that I'm so happy about, dude. Like, we're finally getting some fun freaking picks.
So Cloud9 is hard committing to what I consider very
oh my gosh.
with Ahri Vi. So really great dive, really get engaged. But you're going to be having to dive through that potential Seraphine ult through. I think Swain would be a brilliant last pick here because that's really all Cloud9's comp can do is kind of run at you.
Wow.
And Swain is so good traditionally in these Seraphine death ball compositions.
This
he loves the shielding, the healing, the power to just run in there and create this massive zone of threat and control.
Oh, they did buff Orianna the house. The house.
Instead, they are going to go towards Orianna. So, you know, a lot more kind of traditional team fight mage here.
Okay, so it's going to be Kalista support.
On the CLG
Let me
side,
edit my tweet real quick.
Obviously, they have Wukong. Obviously, they have K'Sante in there as well. But this is going to be no marksman. And it's going to be a pretty tough composition to really kind of punch through here. You know, for C9, they are going to be trying to look to dive in deep, you know, take out those enchanters. Generally, when they draft these kind of like triple.
Oh my gosh, dude! I don't know. Orianna's ultimate got buffed a lot, and what else did they buff about her?
Kind of peel for him, and you're trying to get through.
I forget what else they buffed, but they buffed Orianna immensely.
Cloud9,
it was her Q. What did they buff about it? It's it does more damage to the people that it passes through than what it was before, right? The pass-through damage is not as bad. Yes, yes, yes. Tiddly, that is correct. That is correct. Oh my freaking god! Let's freaking god! This is C9 versus CLG. Who do y'all think's gonna win? Let's do a prediction real quick. Let me get a prediction up. Let me get a prediction up.
If this game goes slow and it goes
prediction.
It's gonna be
I got y'all.
Like for Cloud9 to outfight what CLG
Who do you think will win? C9, CLG. You have 2 minutes. 2 minutes to get your votes in. 2 minutes to get your votes in. I'm rooting for C9. Let's freaking go, C9. I'm rooting for you, baby. Let's go.
Standout teams for a lot of people in week number 1. So if there is a squad that I'm trusting you to say, okay,
yeah, I think CLG is definitely going to put up a fight for sure.
Absolutely, and they had some really strong laning performances as well. So definitely looking towards.
Wow, the whole team went with them to ward. That's very nice.
Top teams from last year, obviously. You know, fall short in what was a very early game draft where they went towards Elise. They were up nearly 10K, and they still lost that. So we've seen it happen quite a lot already.
And I like the fact that you bring up EG because it was Vulcan when he was up here on the desk for a TriCast that was talking about he likes to play
Hypo, you missed the hypest champion select ever in the world. So we've got Caitlyn ADC, Kalista support going up against Karma and Seraphine bot lane. Oh my gosh. And then we got Orianna. Yes, spicy bot lane. Spicy bot lane.
Blabber on the Vi. We know how powerful this champion is to get things rolling nice and early.
That deep ward that they got through that bot lane invade, maybe they can get a little bit of cheesy damage here out of the start. It is a Q start for Caitlyn, so there's a potential of actually looking for something. And this could be a potential check here on the red buff. Fudge just queued over the wall. He can actually push Contracts off this. Contracts, I think, is going to have to leave this buff. This is actually so annoying. He gets both vitals. Wow. Yeah, Contracts has to flash or he's dead.
He's messing him up, man. Yeah.
Wow. Fudge already coming in with the heat, bro.
Terrible start in the jungle.
And you know why this wasn't
Fudge
even risky?
already coming in with the heat.
That's so risky. Look where they're showing. You know, we see the mid laner here. We see the top laner here, right? Like, everyone is showing on the map, so there was not really any risk. All the other players were accounted for.
That is
so
true.
They have that ward over. They know where Wukong's going to be starting. He just goes in on this solo invade. It's probably going to cost
puts
him,
Wukong behind.
Exactly how many melees he lost, but my guess is he lost 2 to 3 melees worth of experience. So he is going to be down in XP. He's going to be down slightly in gold, but the advantage that Vi gets is so much more than what he has lost.
Oh yeah.
Look at the minimap right now. Wukong is just starting his first camp here at 220, right? He had to fully base. It wasn't just that he flashed over the wall. He's starting a leashless red. By the time the full clear on the bot side is basically done for Blabber.
That is
Essentially,
true.
Fudge traded 2 melee minions worth of EXP to DC his opponent for 1 minute.
Yeah.
That's a trade I think almost anybody would take.
I would take that.
Wukong without flash is not really an early ganking threat, but look at Sven, he's getting aggressive.
Oh,
okay, Sven!
The heal has to come out there just to make sure he's not too terribly low as C9's aggro early on here.
I love to see it. Yo, what's going on, Blando?
The fact that that's actually halfway up, so that deep ward that I talked, I think that was actually key there. My guess is that it was a level 1 ignite play with the Hail of Blades to just get an early chunk, just based on the timings of that. Blabber now, cutting the map in half here, wants to play towards his bot side. He's saying, we know you're starting so late on top side. I'm going to come straight down here, steal your camps away, and he can threaten a potential dive
so
here. He's
even though Seraphine Karma has a lot of sustain,
no heal, and there's no exhaust.
Kalista Caitlyn has a lot of poke.
Ball breakers charge. Luger tries to get away, but it doesn't look like he's going to get there, my friends. First blood, back up into Berserker.
Okay, and they get out for free. And they're going to get the doubles.
A little bit more damage is what they need, and they're going to find it.
Nice. 2-0 bot lane.
Sven's got no HP. Blabber's going to
Yeah, they're going to have to execute.
That didn't count. That's not what he wanted to do. Okay, let's see if they can get the second one. Sven's still trying to get out of there. Luger's going to walk on up.
Oh, that's not good.
It ends up being 2 for 2 as the executes fail, but it's C9.
That was really bad.
It is that 2 for 2.
Really bad 2 for 2.
No assist gold given over, so that was still good to actually do that. And we have to remember, that's a TP from Cassante down to bot lane.
Today
so
I looked for my keys for an hour, took an Uber to work late, only to find my keys.
And there's going to be minions that were missed in mid lane as a result. So all told, I still think it's very C9 favored here. Really nice early game plan. They come down.
Erica, you're sick?
From Luger. Yeah. He flashes in line with Blabber. What he's trying to do is flash over the back of that Vi. But the hitbox, if you're traveling straight towards him, it's really, really tough on the timing. So you need to flash more side to side there. Fails the flash a little bit, gets taken down, and then they're able to chase down and get a kill here. Yes, Blabber goes and dies to the turret, but this one was just Karma, so you're giving no assist gold over and just that kill to
Maybe he should have walked mid.
This one, unfortunately, will go to Seraphine, so you don't love that. But overall, they deny farm in bot. It's 36
Is it COVID,
CS to 19
Erica?
in bot lane.
Or is it just like a cold?
And you can see, still actually, I'm very impressed that CLG soul lanes are ahead after all that. They're doing very well in the farm department. So credit to them. Palafox was able to pick up that pushing top wave. But even with Fudge getting a free wave reset,
I need to do some stretches.
He is just about even. We do have to remember he gave up Ryo on that first wave to actually get this whole jungle thing rolling.
I didn't stretch today.
So there is some kind of fallout.
I've been trying to stretch every day, and
I really like the early aggressive C9 plan. If you're going to draft early, you've got to be able to make these types of plays.
And they're up 900.
Who are you rooting for? I'm rooting for C9.
Despite those kills being even, of course, most of that gold is exactly what you were talking about with Caitlyn versus Seraphine, that massive CS canyon between the two of them. And with C9 wanting to push the pace of this game, I like the fact that they have the Caitlyn on the marksman role instead of putting her on support, because we know the traditional Caitlyn plan, bust your lane open, take the turret, and then just start the Tour de Rift. Walk mid, do the same thing. Walk top, do the same thing. Cupcakes down around every neutral objective. And that's kind of what I'm expecting out of them, as you do have Blabber and Diplex taking over this bottom side river. They're going to go ahead and take this first Drake, no problem.
Not C9 like Atlanta Sports. I know exactly what you mean, Dre, and I agree. I agree wholeheartedly with you, but I'm still going to root for him.
And Contract's actually spending a lot of time there.
Yeah, Kalista support.
Levels between these two junglers. Contract's level 3, Blabber level 5. Contract was expecting a potential another dive on that pushing wave. He knows that his bot lane is very far behind, so he's saying, all right, if they get dove again, it's actually GG. I gotta be here, maybe see if I can pull off a gank if they go over aggressive or counter dive. All right, so
Caitlyn is gapping Seraphine in terms of CS right now.
Blabber being very efficient with his farming. Not only
very gapped right now.
He's up. 4 or 5 camps.
I mean, it always feels bad to...
But I guess it's all going to come down to usefulness later in the game. Seraphine is very, very useful. That ulti, the CC, the damage, it's all going to be super useful. It's going to be interesting to see if Caitlyn can one-shot before that Seraphine ulti hits her.
He's really going to need to find some sort of a good opportunity here to get himself back in.
Yeah, the one
she can save the ADC.
That, you can kind of sit back and say, we're scaling, just minimize loss. A 1K gold lead, that's a pretty big deal at 7 minutes. If it's a 1K gold lead in 7 more minutes, who cares? Yeah, right? It's not that big of a deal. So we'll see what they can do if they can continue just cycling his camps. Look to try to avoid Blabber. Just try to protect his lanes from dives. I think that's really his job. Whereas on the other side, Blabber just hit 6. So we want to see a very quick gank with this. If he can be effective, if he can get out on the map and get another kill here for his team immediately with this ultimate, it's going to spell good things for Cloud9.
And one thing I want to go ahead and mention as we're seeing what might turn into a fight here real quick. Let's see how far Blabber wants to take this. Just goes in, immediate quick trade. But the inventory of Dokla, you can see the Thorn Mail there, or Bramble Vest, excuse me, which isn't normally a big thing to comment on, but 13.1 did change all of the Grievous Wounds items. It is no longer 25% on the baby ones.
Ori, Seraphine, they have some really good team fight, right?
Across the board. Yep. So that means that this is going to be much more effective in terms of being that, sorry, Fiora, you don't get to do your laning pattern anymore like it used to be. I expect anytime you see Fiora, Bramble Vest is always going to be the play now more than ever.
It even got buffed individually. They were trying to make some of the items less efficient, but more about healing, right? By taking some stats off them. Bramble Vest actually got buffed, plus got the healing buff. So it's more damage return than it used to have. It's 6 damage return every time they hit you, plus the 40%. So, significantly stronger item here. And, early armor is going to be very, very effective against this team. In general, Ahri is not going to be able to focus the K'Sante, and that's the only person you're really going to worry about, right? Like, if Ahri is focusing the K'Sante, you're going to be winning the fight very likely here anyway. So
it is super high on gold now.
That he's going to be going for will have enough MR and enough HP.
I'm curious to see, are we going to see an IE second item from Berserker?
This game I think can be incredibly effective.
Since we're on that 13.1B, IE is now 40% crit.
I mean, a lot of K'Santes love starting off.
I want to see if that's what we're going to get second item.
Fire cape, your full build against this composition, right?
He started Berserker Greaves.
So Dokla just fitting. To farm up here, fudging him neck and neck.
Very fitting.
In terms of that CS count, as bottom lane, Luger and Poom, they got level 6 in the Seraphine. That's the one that really matters. The Encore can really, really determine the flow of a fight.
And Wukong is here. Wukong is hiding in this brush, or at least
y'all are definitely going to get some Caitlyn games from me after these games today.
No either players. The CC could be 100-0.
There it is. Contracts flashes. They look for
no Seraphine ulti.
Berserker still might be dead. No, he's
and look at that.
Then has the save.
Safe.
Call brings the AD carry right on back. And this is sort of like with Kalista as support, it's almost like a Tom Kench support, just able to save that AD carry whenever you need it.
And that's why
I'm gonna play Kalista right now. Oh, we're going in.
To show him how it's done, but he won't find the kill. Luger
no
survives
kill, no
100
kill.
HP.
We're chilling, we're
Everybody's body blocking. Protect the president. Don't let Berserker fire off the ace in the hole. All right. We're done. Everybody walks away.
Yeah, and that's why, even though it looked maybe a little bit silly, that is why they're going for Sven and not Berserker. Berserker was farther forward in the lane, but if you go into Berserker, it's just that Fate's Call comes through immediately and everything is wasted. So at the end of the day, again, it's Cloud9 going positive in these trades because it was just a support flash for Wukong flash ult and Luger's ult. Then in comes Blabber. Yeah, he spends his ult, but he gets flash and heal off of Luger. So, they're getting a lot more cooldowns here off that CLG side. And we'll see if they can really kind of make good on that. The second dragon going to be up in 30. I want to see Blabber continue to stack these. They have full bot lane prio, take dragons on spawn, move towards a potential Soul Wing condition so that you can force CLG to come to you and fight before they're ready to do so.
All right, so that sounds good for a Cloud9 win condition. Now, if you're faithful that CLG can scale and execute here, what do you think is kind of the threshold that they got to keep this game with?
ADCs as support should be good for Sven. It lets him hide his weakness as a support. Oh, you don't think? I know he switched.
But you mentioned,
he used to be an ADC main, right?
1K at 7 minutes feels bad. 1K at 14 minutes feels fine. What kind of a lead does C9 need to have to run away with this? And essentially, what does CLG have to stop?
I mean, I think that C9 is really looking to just push towards 3 quick dragons and then force on Soul, and that's going to be kind of like the pivot point of this game, right? So if CLG can actually take away a dragon or slow that down in some way to give themselves the extra 5-10 minutes to scale, I think they're going to be good. Because if CLG can get to 2 items before C9 is on 3, or 3 items before they're on 4,
thank you so much for the follow, Rosie. Hope you're having a good day. I need to take notes for my LCS recap.
Striking distance of completed item total.
Yep.
What's going on in these games?
Right, and I think if CLG can take 1 dragon away, that buys them enough time to do that, and that's why they're looking for this. But C9 is here, so this is a pivotal fight. Diplex is moving down from mid lane. Cassante is already moving. Fudge has no TP, so this actually may just be CLG's dragon, which I think is actually quite bad for C9.
Okay, CLG forcing C9 away from it. Diplex trying to come around now, but Dokla's already waiting in that pixel brush. Drake's got about 1,600 left. We could get a smite fight out of it, but no, Blabber's just going to walk away, and CLG stops the dragon stack.
First dragon.
Fudge has basically got to try to get a full tower, because there is no TP on either Dokla or Palafox, so no one can go top. So this is the trade-off. You're going to get more gold for that dragon, but it puts a lot of the onus on Fudge to be able to make something happen in that 1v1. It's no longer okay for him to just kind of sit back and farm it out.
Guys, are we going to start getting Kalista supports in our games?
Pressure on the map. Because they gave up that quick soul as a win condition, and it's going to be one that will be really good for their comp here, as we can see. Hextech Soul.
I don't want it. We are. Oh, man.
And you can see C9 also chose to drop it.
Let me write that down. In my LCS recap, I need to let, I'm gonna say low elo players. If you are diamond and below, do not lock in Kalista. It is not for you. Okay? It is not for you. Let me make a note. Not
the completed boot and
for
his opponent
low elo.
But like
you do not know how to capitalize
we need to see that side lane pressure.
Absolutely. You know, they either have to be able to find a way to dive Dokla, or at least chunk him low enough that he has to leave the tower and then you take the tower. It's got to be these types of plays, because I do think, you know, with CLG having snuck away a dragon,
I made the note.
You know, maybe
the note has been made.
For gold, or maybe
Lots Kalista support in bronze, please. No. Please.
It's a smart play when you're playing a tank to sacrifice your own individual lead to secure the team advantage, right? And that's exactly what Dokla did in this situation. So I think CLG is well and truly within striking distance, as long as they don't give up, you know, one of those massive team fight aces or something that's really going to blow the game open. This gold lead, I think, is still totally fine.
Lux Kate support in bronze 3.
2.3K as turret plates fall. Drakes are even. Still only the 2 kills that were traded during the bottom lane dive that Cloud9 forced back at level 3. It's Berserker and Blabber topping the table in terms of total gold count, with Palafox being the only CLG player in the top 4 in terms of those big earners. It is Luger with his mythic item completed. He's the only one with a fully completed item on the side of CLG. Meanwhile, everybody on C9 except for Sven has theirs done.
How's the game so far? So this is LCS. It's CLG versus C9, and we got a Kalista support game from C9, so I'm very excited.
CLG's not looking to fight.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, they just have to sit back and farm it out. You know, it may not be the style that everyone likes to play, but it is a very,
congrats, always popping.
It's something that puts a lot of pressure on your opponents. You know, they are the ones who can make the aggressive moves, but they're also the ones that have to, or they're just going to be straight up losing as that clock is tick-ticking away. And you can see now, Luger starting to really get the pressure down here. They're going to drop second Herald top, so they're going to look for a crash on the tier 2.
Oh, wow.
They take down that tier 1. Wukong's still sitting bot, so they want to at least get the crash, if not threaten a dive. It's possible that they could look for it, but would be risky. Blabber has
they're going for it.
They're just going in. Dokla tries to get away.
Gets the flash.
Away from the Vi ulti, but it follows you wherever you may go. But he goes right back to help.
Okay, there's the ulti from Orianna. Wukong is now top lane, but so is Ari.
A 1-for-1, but
Fudge is not looking good. In a little bit of trouble. Got the parry. He's going in. So is Ari, and they're turning the fight.
It's Fudge again and again and again and again and again.
Oh my God!
It's the year of
Fudge is a demon on Cassante. Fudge is a demon on Fiora. What is Fudge not a demon on? Oh my gosh! Fudge is really so good. What the heck?
Take down the extra man.
What the heck?
That is dangerously close to Fudge just walking up, killing the tower in your face, and starting to threaten inhibitor now. And that is exactly what Cloud9 needed. That puts the game squarely in their favor.
Wow. Yeah, 1 minute ago, you were telling me, hey, 2,500 gold.
They've got a 5K gold lead right now. I need you to recognize that.
Afterwards, we got ourselves a lot bigger of a problem. Let's take a look again at how C9 executed the dive.
And C9 Wukong
so there was a flash here by Vi, and I'm trying to understand. He's expecting the ulti.
He uses the ult to buy some space because Palafox was coming down to him. But
he was expecting the ulti from
then Diplex comes in to try to peel.
Kasante is what I'm assuming.
So he's just kind of kiting it back along the wall. And then watch this parry from Fudge. Beautiful stuff. Perfectly timed parry, procs the vital, gets the grass peel. Diplex comes over the wall,
and then that charm.
Charm does land onto Palafox.
Wow.
Knock him down. Cloud9 looking so
he doesn't want to get Kasante ulted into their tower. Okay.
Cloud9 members. On 2 full completed items.
But there was no wall to Kasante ult him into. Is what I'm confused on. Doesn't he have to ulti through a wall?
Because this game is all of a sudden very, very scary.
Yo, what's going on, OD? Are you home?
They've got everybody down here this time.
The ult was already out.
It's going to have to be 5-on-5 in open ground.
Maybe I don't understand Kasante. There was a 2-man Seraphine ulti there. Contracts falls, no longer have a Wukong. Karma's down. Dokla's blocking a Caitlyn ulti. Spin is low.
He'll manage to hobble out, but it's 2 kills for nothing. And CLG struggle to fight back.
Wow. He does not need a wall. He needed a wall.
There, getting the CC.
He gets a bonus for ulti in the wall, but the ulti is just an install super. Okay.
This Fiora, who are so strong at this point, they are going to be punishing you if you're not getting
I didn't know that.
Instantaneously, you're trying to fight through them. This gold lead on the top side of the map for Cloud9 is massive, and we are now 6.5K, 2 dragons to their name. Cloud9 really extending this advantage. Of course, it is not over just yet. We can watch this replay one more time. It's about the engage on this section up here. The TP's coming in from the bot side, so Diplex tries to time the charm, mistimes it unfortunately, but in goes Contracts there, gets the knock up. The ulti comes through, but credit to Sven. He gets the Kalista ultimate out before he gets
Yeah, what's going on, Christian?
So
I'm doing well.
Out of the damage there. Yes, he gets very low. Yes, he has to spend his flash,
but
Berserker does not. And Berserker comes out of that at very, very high health. So critical timing there from Sven on the Kalista here, showing off his skills on this pick. And with the early Umbral Glaive, you're nothing to scoff at, right? Like, you're on 1 quick completed item here with a Halo Blades Kalista. Your damage is relevant in these fights.
I mean, he's got plenty of money, especially compared to a lot of the players on CLG, who are, as a team, nearly 7,000 gold behind. Honestly, that 1 Kim Drake they got earlier, they're probably pretty happy they got that, because if you were staring down the barrel of a sole point C9 that's 7,000 gold ahead, I would say it's already all over. Dokla and Contracts try to collapse on Fudge, but the blast cone is there to get him away to safety. Contracts still trying to see if he can stop him here. Sweeps the Tri-Brush, doesn't see him, so Fudge will just make a cheeky exit.
Yep. And he doesn't have vision on a number of
I did not, Alec.
From the other side, so if you overchase there...
I gotta watch this in pixels. Can you not change the quality?
Just continue to clear out vision.
When Kasante's bar changes like that, he's in ulti state. I need to look up what his ulti does completely. So what is ulti state?
Plays like this, though, where they overload one side of the map to try to punish someone who is pushing heavily on that side. Blabber threatening here, charging up that Q, looking like he might go in. There now.
There's Spin.
They pop Spin, which means Berserker's vulnerable if they can.
Looks like Contracts will fall as well. It's now a 1-for-1.
To take out Contracts. 1-for-1 trade, support for jungle.
Yeah, support for jungle and the flash, as well as some critical ultimates are used.
I'm a tank into a bruiser. Okay.
So they're
he sacrifices some of his HP and becomes more of a bruiser after his ulti. Okay.
They want to keep that pressure rolling. Will they feel a little bit nervous to do so? Okay, they're instead going to decide to just reset.
Gotcha.
Fudge is pushing down on bot side, so they want to reset, get their tempo up, not overstay on the map here, and give CLG too much of a window to kind of clear things out.
Fudge does have that second fully completed item in the Ravenous Hydra. You can see the scoreboard updating. Shadow Flame just completed there for Diplex on the Ari
C9 is continuing to lengthen that gold lead, 6.8K from the 5.1 that we saw a little while ago.
Parts sitting in the inventory of CLG.
I don't think they know.
Uh-oh. Oh, here we go. They're just immediately going to go in.
Oh my gosh.
They don't even need
oh
the
my gosh. I love to freaking see it. Love to freaking see it.
Seraphine's, yeah, the biggest team fight tool they have, and with her down, I don't think C9's afraid of a Baron fight.
And you have 2 ADCs and a Kalista to rend and help you actually secure this. So as long as they time it well, it's not a 50-50, right? It is very heavily weighted towards Cloud9 here. Fudge is going to zone on the side. They are TPing Orianna up towards top lane, but in goes Fudge. He wants this.
Boom's trying to get out, but no.
Oh my gosh.
And C9 managing to fight off CLG.
Blabber and Spin still on the Baron.
Contract still trying to deal with Fudge, but the damage from Fiora is just way too much. Dokla goes all out and tries to bring him back into a 1v1. Oh, but even on Cassante, I don't think you're winning those. C9 just keeping everybody out of town. They'll take the Baron, they'll take the jungle, they'll take the fight.
It's a thing of
and that 6K gold turns into a 9K gold, just like that.
Game. You're just diving back behind Dokla. He looks for the Q3, just slips behind him, makes him look a little bit silly there, able to push him off. Blabber and Diplex, you know, doing a good job, Fudge and Diplex doing a really good job getting over the wall there to really make sure that there wasn't even a small chance of a steal. There was no way for CLG to be able to get in. It's a really confident move. You know, committing the ulti, getting the kill on Luger, straight to Baron, and now they're looking for more.
Luger
oh my gosh, and this Seraphine is just getting ulted on cooldown. Seraphine responds with an ulti.
This might be CLG's counterattack they need. Luger finally dropped. Blabber buys a moment here with a stasis. Diplex comes in to reinforce. And Contracts can't get home.
Oh my gosh. Spin's doing it on the Kalista. I'm not going to cap. I'm not going to cap.
It's a 2v5 and you can't even kill Blabber.
And that 9K gold turns into an almost 11K gold.
Struggling here now.
Wow.
They had all 5
also, guys, do take note that we do see the IE second on Caitlyn. So he went Gale Force IE.
Blabber had the stopwatch, got huge value.
He went Gale Force IE.
He's on 3 items here. And Contracts is still on 1, so it is looking really.
Why did they just zoom in on that man's face for no
reason? Done now as well, so
for no reason, bro.
Loaded, ready to go here, and Cloud9 looking like they have everything they could possibly need to close this one out.
Contracts lost his footing in this game at 1 minute and 30 seconds on the clock, and he was never able to regain.
Which is very unfortunate.
It just felt like that shut everything down, and Cloud9 kept the pressure on.
I completely agree. You know, I think it's a great callback from you. I can't remember the last time I saw a solo top lane invade like that.
Yep, you are about to see Kalista supporting your game.
But you know, it doesn't feel cheesy to me because they had all the knowledge to know that it wasn't risky. Fiora can't lose the 1v1 to a Wukong who's on his red buff, and you see all of their 4 members. So there's no risk here, right?
Well,
this Seraphine is getting ulted on cooldown from Blabber, and I'm freaking here for it. She's trying to get her ulti out because it's her last like chance at survival, but it just does not work. They are just going ham. Oh my freaking gosh. Yo, what's going on, Jaden? How are you doing, love? What's going on?
Yeah, no TP on
thank you. We just played.
That could be pulled off.
Thank you, love. You're here for it? When they're on the enemy team? Absolutely.
They don't want any shenanigans happening here. Don't want to risk anything.
Absolutely.
They want to have that killer instinct. They're massively ahead.
Is Pallet Fox playing with his like knee in the chair?
Try to trade kills like this to be able to take objectives, to be able to take the inhibitor and close it out. Contract's trying to get out here, trying to get something back. They do spot Blabber, but not going to be the
They're just killing it, man.
Sir, he's already gone. Even if you caught him,
they are just killing it.
Angel, so.
If you do not want Kalista supporting your game, please ban it. Because you know you're about to see it after this game. It's coming over from LCK. Courier was doing Kalista support, Caitlyn support over there, and now it has finally made its way over to LCS. And it is over. It is over.
He's got the GA. If they full commit all their cooldowns to
Gen support too. You think we're going to see Gen support today?
Well, you're just going to die as soon as Cloud9 wins. You know, as soon as they show up. We can see
Yo, what's going on, Paul Skis?
Given as good as he takes, as Luger
oh, freaking nah. I know that's right, girl. I know that's right. Because
you can see the top lane wave is coming in there. Bot lane wave
girl, if I start to see these in game, I don't know. I think it's over for me. I don't think I can. I don't think I'm gonna make it. Your game's gonna be lit. I'm gonna start dodging. We've got a 13.3K gold lead from C9. They're looking for the end. They're going in. They're going ham. They're going crazy. They're taking them out left and right. And that is the C9 win with the Kalista support. Let's go. Are we about to get a spin interview? Let's freaking go. That's what I love to see from Cloud9. That's what I love to see. That was a stomp for real.